Getting ready to go live. Live at 5 Friday afternoon. TGIF. How's- And hello, South Florida. Welcome to the TGIF Real Estate Show. That's right, TGIF to the power of 3. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Florida, and thank God it's finished. I'm here broadcasting live as we do every single weekday, a brand new live, fresh show for you. And here on our TGIF, we like to kind of summarize the week, summarize what's going on in the news. And quite frankly, I'm going to summarize what I've been doing here in real estate. We're here live Monday through Friday, as I said, 5 days a week. We're here at 5 p.m. That's right down during the busy hour. Many of you listening to us in your cars, driving back home, especially those of you who are back in the office. And we're here 5 different ways that you can access the real estate show. You can access us on the AM dial at 1470. You can access on the FM dial. Well, actually, we're on a number of FM stations, 96.9, 95.3, 103.9. There's a number of those. Best go to one of the apps. That's the third way, the free apps that you can download that access the radio, like the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, and even WWNN. Remember that, WWNN, when you're searching on any one of those apps, 1470 AM Money Talk Radio. That'll get you right straight there and be there at 5, and you can listen to this radio show live. And then the fourth way, if everything else fails, if you can't remember the dials on the AM, FM, or the call numbers on the app, look up Automatic Landlord. Just remember, Automatic Landlord, as that website has been up there for literally a couple decades now. The Automatic Landlord, which is the right way to own real estate. And you can go to automaticlandlord.com, go to the top of the page where you'll see it says the real estate show or the real estate show notes. Click on that and you'll see that by date, the real estate show notes. And each one of those notes is a summary of the show. And you'll have a link that allows you to listen to this show in its entirety on your schedule. So don't miss a single episode, whether you listen to it live at 5 or later on. You can listen to it there. That's the fourth way, automaticlandlord.com. And the fifth way is on the Facebook page. Now, if you have a Facebook page, just look for The Real Estate Show, all one word. If you don't have a Facebook page, no worries. Just go to facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. For those of you on the Facebook live page, you'll see that uncharacteristically, usually I at least dress up for the radio show. I'm here in my t-shirt, my still paint and cement on my hands, working on one of my rehabs. And being that it's TGIF, cheers to you. And we had a really interesting day today. If you were to try to describe the life of a real estate investor, a full-time investor, you'd probably have a day like what I had today. Getting up in the morning, paying bills, looking at the accounting, which is what I do every Friday. It's my work on my business day, and then making phone calls, talking to a number of lenders and hard money investors for the next project that we have going. Very exciting. Talking to some tremendous interest in the marketplace. And what it really does is it reinforces exactly what I've been saying here on the radio show. There is a lot of money sitting on the sidelines looking for good quality deals. And if you have a good quality deal, bring it to us, because we have the money to buy it, the money to finance it, whether you want to sell part of the deal or just finance and get a loan on part of the deal. This is a wonderful time to be in real estate. It's very exciting. Yes, it is very competitive. Yes, the properties are in short supply. But the best deals are not the ones that are on the MLS right now. The best deals are the ones that you find by word of mouth through some of our property scouts. And by the way, we are looking for some property scouts. I'm going to give out a couple of terms today. In fact, I'm going to do two things today that I don't normally do. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give in a little bit, I'm going to give out an 800 number. And normally I don't take call-ins. Whenever I tell anybody that I'm on the radio show and they say, oh, you're one of those call-in shows. And I said, no, to be quite honest, we don't do call-ins very often. And they go, oh, why not? And I said, because generally speaking, I got enough information and topics that I'm talking about that I don't have time. They pull out the metaphorical hook and end me before I'm finished with what I had to say on the show today. So we don't always go in there. And the other thing that we found out over the years is that, for example, if you're a regular listener on the radio show, you know that what we do is that we set up Mondays. Mondays are Mondays on a mission. We title that show, every Monday is a Monday on a mission. And we pick a specific topic that today we've been talking about buying and selling real estate, how the market is doing. Last week, we were talking about being a landlord, what it's like to be a landlord, why you should be a landlord if you could be, and why now is a particularly good time to be a landlord. The week before that, we talked the whole entire week about the moratorium, whether it be the foreclosure moratorium or the eviction moratorium. And it was timed, no coincidence, by the way, that it was timed that we spent the whole week talking about the moratorium when the moratorium previously in place was expiring. And so we covered that. And we covered what would happen if it did get extended or if it didn't get extended. And you got right here the up-to-date, up-to-the-minute scoop on what was going on there and what to do if you're on, any side of those. This is a three-sided coin, right? It is the lenders and the investors that finance the deals. It is the landlords, the owners of the properties, and it is the tenants who occupy and are supposed to be paying for those properties. And if legitimately, operative word there, legitimate, if legitimately there's a hardship involved, that's why these protections are in place. Unfortunately, whenever there is these broad protections, there's always some abuse. And I openly don't approve of that. I wish if everybody did their part, not only is it good for the property, it's good for the subdivision, the county, the city, the state, and this country. And this business runs very well. And yes, Tish, who was on our Facebook page, just asked, can I recommend good hard money lenders? I have a list, probably better than most, of hard money lenders. It really depends, Tish, where you are. Hard money lenders tend to be very localized. They like to know their area. So at best, they're going to be, I should say, at worst, they're going to be very localized. They might lend in and only within a city or a county. That's common that lenders like to be in there, or maybe the tri-county area, wherever they are. But they tend to, because they need to know the value of what they're lending on, because they're lending more. Now, traditionally, prior to 2008, hard money meant hard asset lending, which meant that they were lending on strictly the property. And it didn't matter what your credit was. In fact, it didn't really even matter what your income was. They looked more to what the income of the property was, whether it be a rehab and a flip, or whether it be a rental property, buy and hold with cash flow. I could tell you stories about hard money that they go on and on and on, from flips that went super well to flips that went sideways. In fact, I remember back in, was this 2004 or 5, where I had borrowed money, and it's funny because brand new investors, they say, Eric, you've been doing this, for literally decades. Why would you ever borrow money at 15%? Because I remember this was a loan that I took out at 15%, bought a house, good deal, rehabbed it. Everything went within normal there's always, whenever you do a rehab of an old house, you're going to discover things that are behind walls, and you always build in a little bit of cushion, so no big deal. The problem at that time is that properties were selling fairly slower in this particular area, and as a result of that, what was supposed to be a quick flip, we weren't getting the kind of response that we wanted. So we did get somebody who was very interested in becoming a homeowner, but they didn't have the credit. They didn't have the big down payment. They had a down payment. So we ended up selling that property on terms as opposed to them going out and getting a loan. Well, next thing you know, 12 months go by, because now I have somebody living in there paying a good payment. But because I knew how the hard money lender wanted, and this one was 15% annualized rate, we were paying for it monthly. And if you were to extend the loan, if you didn't close it out within 1 year, then it went to 16%. And this was worked out in the deal with the tenant. The tenant was fine with the payments, was fine with the increase, and we still got our profit, full market value for the property. Instead of getting it up front in cash, we got it over time, so it worked out fine, and it was still a very profitable deal. And here I am the borrower at going from 15 to 16%. When probably at that time in the marketplace, interest rates were about 8%, if I remember. Maybe it was even farther back than I thought. Then it's probably maybe in the late 90s. But that's the thing with hard money lenders, is that number one, it's very local and regionalized. But Tish, if you want to send me a private message there on Facebook, we can talk about what area you're looking for the money in, and then we can talk a little bit about what your deal is. And I can definitely direct you to somebody pretty much anywhere in the South Florida area, and even in several states. So depending on where you are, we can do that. Hey, Peter, how are you? We got a number of people here on our Friday note. So I said I was going to do two things that I don't normally do. And so number one, as you can see, I just came fresh off of one of our projects. Not even enough time to shower or change. So those of you on Facebook, you see me in a t-shirt, cement, paint, and whatever else on my hands. Actually hands-on in this project. A really good, really big project. Maybe on one of the next shows we'll talk more about it. The other thing I'm going to do is, in the second half of the show, is I'm going to give out an 800 number. And if you have call-in questions, like I said before, we don't do this very often. Usually we stay very much on track with the subject that we're talking about. And today, if we want to go in any direction, as long as it's real estate related, we can talk about it right here. And I'm happy to answer any of the questions. And speaking about in the second half of the show, it's time for a break. You guys are listening to the Real Estate Show here, that South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running daily radio show, now in its 23rd consecutive year, through good times, through bad times, through the recession, through the pandemic, and for the foreseeable future. We're going to be here helping out investors and homeowners alike with the real estate issues that they need to learn. So don't touch that dial. We will be right back. Cindy, how are you? Cindy's one of my regulars. It's great to see you. Cindy from California. Tish, I don't know where you're from. Otherwise, I'd be able to answer that a little bit better. What part of the country are you joining us from? In fact, all of you, I'd love to see, if I don't know your name, I would love to see where you guys are watching us from. On any given day, we could have people from the East Coast of the United States to the West Coast of the United States, from the East Coast of Florida to the West Coast of Florida. So thank you for those thumbs up. Today, I'm in a super good mood, as you can tell. Had a really good day, growing our list of lenders and investors. working on some really neat and exciting projects, and more coming. For those of you who were familiar with the automatic landlord, we had a project, and of course we got a brand new set of educational materials coming out very soon. And that's all super exciting. Hey, Richard, from the East Coast. Now, the East Coast of where? Give me a state. Give me a state. And by the way, it's happy hour somewhere. Certainly here. It has been a very good week. Missouri. Hey, Richard, that's cool. Is Missouri considered the East Coast? And welcome back for those of you just joining us here on the Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner. I am the host of the Real Estate Show here, South Florida's #1 program about real estate on our TGIF edition of the Real Estate Show. So, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and give out our call-in number if you have questions about real estate today, or about real estate investing. Limit them, keep them about real estate, and I'm happy to answer those questions. But today, and so the number is 888. That's 888-565-1470, which is our local AM station. That's 888-565-1470 if you have a question about real estate. So I was sitting in my kitchen overlooking the backyard, the lake, and the view, and it's literally walking distance from the beach here in Florida. And one of my good investor friends from Ohio was telling me that he was coming down he was actually heading to Hilton Head, and that they had rented a place that was walking distance to the beach, right near a lake, and there's lots of nature and wildlife and everything. And he was so excited about his vacation, and I was sitting there looking out in the backyard, and realizing that what I was looking at was, for many people, the dream vacation. And this is what the real estate is really all about. Yes, we like to fix up houses, and we like to buy them low and sell them high, or buy them really low and then sell them low and still make a difference, but sell it fast. We talked this week, starting on Monday, we were talking about who's outbidding you by tens of thousands of dollars. Remember, this is the topic this week. The mission, Monday on a Mission, was the whole topic of buying and selling in a competitive market. This market, today's market, not a conceptual market, but the real market. Then we started talking about the number of institutional investors and the hedge funds that are out there right now that are competing with the average homeowners. And so, hey, welcome, Joe. And so it's important to understand who your competition is, because you can be competitive against those. I have a plaque over my desk in my office that says, it's not the big that eat the small, it's the fast that eat the slow. And this is where having the local knowledge, back to the whole question about the hard money lenders, it's having that good, solid, deep knowledge locally still gives you an advantage of the Zillows of the world. You and I could never compete with the pockets of a Zillow, an OfferPad, or an Open Door, or any of the other hedge funds that are out there. But because we have local relationships, because we have boots on the ground and scouts, I'm looking for more scouts in various areas all over the country, in fact, but particularly here in Florida, in Texas, and particularly in Pennsylvania, different parts, both East and West Pennsylvania, two very distinct markets, by the way. If you're interested in working with us, getting literally a real live, in boots on the ground real estate experience, then type the word X-ray, like getting an X-ray at the doctor, because we X-ray into the market. Type X-ray to 561-861-2366, and we'll have that conversation about how that works. So that's X-ray, 561-861-2366. By the way, the number that I'm going to give out is going to be the same all the way across. That's our real estate show text line. The call-in number, of course, was a different number, but the 561-861-2366 is all about these text codes. Yesterday, Wednesday, we talked about notes. Now, in the scheme of the whole rainbow of approaches of investing in real estate, the ultimate, getting to the sort of like the at the top end of the ladder, is when you become the bank. You hold a note on real estate, so it's owning an interest in real estate without having to take calls from tenants, toilets, the TNT, I call them, the tenants and toilets. And you don't have to worry about anything to do with maintenance. That's not your problem, because what you have is that you have a guaranteed flow of payments. And across our table from time to time, and this week was an example where we have the opportunity to buy a note paying 12%. And I gave out the word notes. That was one of the keywords that you can text to 561-861-2366 if you're interested in investing in notes as opposed to the real estate. And the neat thing about notes is there's lots of notes. There's probably more notes to be bought today than there even are properties. And there's certainly less competition when it comes to that. Anyway, moving back on the recapping what the week was all about. Hey, Lloyd, how are you doing? Got more folks joining us on our Facebook Live feed. We talked about the rocket companies, and this is a really interesting topic this week. And like I said, if you're not in the sort of the trade circles and reading the trade publications, you probably wouldn't have heard the news that Rocket Mortgage, which I'm sure you've heard of Rocket Mortgage because they're all over TV, radio, advertising everywhere as an online, quote unquote, quick way to get a mortgage. And if you are a perfect borrower, good credit scores, verifiable income, putting down a good amount on your real estate, Rocket Mortgage may be for you. They are a mass, provider of mortgages if you fit inside their box. If you don't fit inside their box, they'll turn you down real quick, and then you can go on your way and go find another avenue. But what's very interesting, what I was talking about in the article, was the fact that they announced this week that they were going into a lot of other areas. They were not content with merely being America's largest lender. That's what they've become, because like I said, they're all about the mass numbers. If you want one-on-one attention, if you want to be coddled and hugged, you're not going to go to Rocket Mortgage. But if you have good credit, good income, and all the easy things to verify, then Rocket Mortgage may be for you. But now they came out with their quarterly earnings report and started to describe what they have coming up, which is a very sophisticated company that's developed a product solution, in their words, for every piece of the home buying and home selling ecosystem. They want to be in mortgages. They're there. They want to be in title, doing title insurance and closings. They're there. They want to be in the appraisal business. We'll see what that is. They want to be in the servicing, which means collecting the money. Even they originate the mortgage, they sell the mortgage to somebody else, but on the front end, they're still the ones receiving and making the phone calls. Hey, Mr. Smith, you didn't make your mortgage payment today, et cetera, et cetera. And now adding to that list of services, they're now doing iBuying. Remember, we spent the whole week on that subject. iBuying. What is an iBuyer? It is an institutional buyer, deep pockets, making cash offers on properties, obviously at a discount, but being able to close quickly. And now iBuyers have become, the mega version of a real estate investor, buying, fixing, and then reselling the properties. Real estate brokerage, they're opening up a real estate brokerage. Funny thing I heard this week, and I'm going to do a little bit of homework on this one. One of our local moving companies opened a real estate agency, And so that was very interesting. And they basically said, listen, you want to sell and you want to move, call us. We'll handle everything. We'll come sell your property. We'll come pick up and move anything that you want to take, and we'll come and pick up and move out anything you want to leave. And they'll handle the real estate transaction from top to bottom. It's a new world out there in real estate. It's an exciting world out there in real estate, which is why you want to keep it tuned right here to the Real Estate Show, Monday through Friday, every day, 5 p.m., 5 different ways, right here where you saw us, where we'll be again here on Monday. Remember, we have our Sunday 5 show, the mega dose of real estate, starting at 9 p.m. on Sunday, right where you hear us. So that's lots of ways. Contact us at automaticlandlord.com, automaticlandlord.com, because I'm out of time here on the air. So we'll be back again, same place, same time tomorrow. Until then, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Real Estate Show, brought to you by All right. Thank you, my friend. And Capital One Group LLC are available to assist you with your financial needs. So let's go ahead and close this off there. Did I ever? Did I not? Don't tell me. Oh, there we go. It's over here. I have 2 YouTube stations open, so let's go ahead and wrap that up. So